to part 9 of my crazy smart car Gixxer mod. In the last video we finished off getting the front beam all painted, and in this video we're going to do a little more work on that and get into the air conditioning finalization. We got the rear AC lines finally connected. Just got to get the other bumper mount on. Okay, rear radiator's in and the AC lines are just tucked away right behind the bumper. Got the AN hard lines to the soft lines. Got my high pressure switch wired in. So we got the high side goes back and then comes back up and goes right back up to the front. And the rear body panel kind of covers it all. I know the hole. Up front, I got the edge protector around the corners where I cut it out. I just need to finish the AC lines up here, connecting here and here, and then this one over here. So today I'm working on the air conditioning lines. This is the low side coming out of the firewall on the evaporator. I got to get a really tight 90 on here. So what I'm doing is taking a AN fitting and I'm going to machine it down to this fitting. So what it does, it has to fit this clamp. There it is. So it'll be a really tight 90 straight to an AN fitting. So now I just have to machine the threads off, leaving the biggest lip I can, and then machine the end down for the O-ring. Okay, finishing up the front AC lines. We're down here coming to the battery expansion valve. I ran a soft line, AN line up. And then my homemade fitting will work with the swivel connector, so I still have a fill port. That will kind of go like that down to the fill port, and then both of these two lines just got to connect right back to those two lines with some, either I'll cut them back, make room for soft lines, maybe I'll just put an elbow hard line on that one. And then after cutting so much out for the CV axles, leaving this front unsupported, I made some heavy-duty 3/16 A36 steel brackets, and they're going to weld in right there. I'll kind of strengthen that back up. You'll never see this, but it looks pretty nice. Okay, we got the gussets kind of clamped in place. Going to get ready to weld everything together. And then I got this bracket for the air conditioner. Just gonna weld that to the frame with this bulkhead fitting, and it'll help stabilize everything. Let's get that going. Okay, finally got the air conditioning lines completed. This is that fitting I made on the lathe. Got the O-ring clamped nice, because I had to keep this distance very thin because the engine sits so close. So everything had to be behind that. Alright, so I have the low side port in the front of the car. The high side port's in the back, but being a smart car, it's short enough my hoses will reach both ways. So here we have, coming from the compressor through the condenser, we have the high side, comes up into both upper and lower expansion valves, and then the return from the battery cooler, and then the return from the car's air conditioner go right down. Got a nice bracket welded to the frame, nice AN fittings. Now we're going to have to pressure test the system, do a soapy water check on anything, check for leaks. If that's all good, then we're going to vacuum it out and charge it with R134A. Okay, I took my air compressor, filled the yellow line up, got about 98 pounds. And then I closed the valve, and we're just going to let it sit overnight, or we'll see if it loses any pressure at all. So far so good. I don't hear any leaks. So I got the ABS sensors mounted to their brackets. And these reluctor rings will slip right over the CV axles. Hopefully that works. Alright, a long day, but I got the KW shocks in the front. They got to be cranked way higher than I thought. And this is just the dead weight of the stock electric car with a lot of the parts removed. I got a feeling that there isn't much threads left. By the time I add the motor, it's going to be riding bottomed out. We'll see. So now I just got to put the brakes and the hubs back on. Got the whole assembly here. Looking nice and clean. All the AC lines tucked away. Got the axles in. There's my ABS sensors on both sides. I got both half shafts in. So here the car is sitting on its own weight. There's no weight on the jack stands. It's just all on the floor jacks right now. So we got a very little spring left. It's coming along. Okay, got another problem. Due to the fact my wheel bearing is spaced out the brakes farther, the calipers, when they're on here, the slides don't quite have enough room. So I got these 15 millimeter thick spacers, which will sit right like that, nice and square. And then I got longer bolts for the calipers. Actually, they go on this side of that bracket. Then the caliper bolt will reach through the hole and bolt into the caliper. And the sway bar, I ended up mounting it below. I'm gonna have some links that just go from here and up and come through. I'll just drill a hole and put bushings on each side of the A-arm. Now, I know I'm like 50%, so I've lost 50% effectiveness of the sway bar. But in this mod, because there's so much going on, it can't all be perfect. For my lower sway bar mounts in the front, I just took one of the OEM ones and just cut it in half. And I bought this universal bushing kit off Amazon. So, and I ended up just taking a die and putting threads on the end. So it just stacks up like that. And I'll drill a hole in the A-arm where I want this, and that hooks right to the bar. Real simple. And just to keep the 12-volt battery tendered, I have a bench charger set at 12.58 volts. There's a very slight draw from the car. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to help this channel out and stay tuned for the next video.